Hey there, friends and enemies. JoPaWrites here once again, and today I'm bringing you a brand new Destiny 2 video. This is going to be a Blueberries guide to Gambit with Beyond Light. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out, allows you to stay informed as I post new videos pretty regularly these days. So I appreciate all the love lately. It's been amazing. Comment down below if you have any additional tips or loadouts that you really like to use within Gambit. But first of all, I want to go over the changes that have been made to Gambit. Now, Gambit Original and then Gambit Prime have been merged. You don't have the armor sets that you did. You don't have some of the different perks that you would deal with. It's one round of Gambit. First team summon the Primeval has a major advantage because once you get to that stage, if you kill your envoys, that's how you'll get a buff to damage. And then the first team to summon the Primeval will now have Primeval or the envoy spawning quicker than the other teams. So that's something to keep in mind. You want to get to the Primeval stage as quickly as possible. And I'm going to give you some ideas and some tips on how to do that. Now, going through, I'm going to touch on the phases of Gambit, what you want to pay attention to, what you want to be on the lookout for, and then I'm going to go through loadouts because I feel like if you separate those, you can kind of get an idea on the best way to approach it. So, first jump into Gambit, you're going to want to be clearing ads as quickly as possible. Watch your teammates. If they're clearing ads but not picking up moats, be the one that picks up the moats. That's going to help your team out. Oftentimes I see players jump right in, get in the midst, start killing ads, and they're leaving all the moats behind them. Someone's got to be there to pick up the moats. And if you're playing with randoms, the best way to win games is to fill the gaps that they're not filling. So find those moats that they're dropping, help them clear ads. That's easy enough from the jump. Then you're going to want to pay attention to where the bar is as far as how many moats your team has, how many moats the other team has. If you have enough moats to invade, you should dunk and help your team dunk, if at all possible. Sometimes they won't go with you. You don't want to be dunking solo too often in Gambit because what's going to happen is it's kind of a waste. If you dunk two or more, you're actually going to start siphoning off their moats. So that's absolutely key in order for them to not only start losing moats, but now they've got to make sure they have somebody leave the enemy area to go take out the blockers as quickly as possible. Oftentimes, I see players don't go back to clear the blockers at all. They get a bunch of their moats drained. It's a huge problem. So, dunk moats with teammates if at all possible. Make sure if you see a teammate who has 10 or 15 going back to the bank, even if you have 5, 7, 9, go back and dunk with them. It's going to be more advantageous for you to do that than to collect 2 more moats to get past and get 10. Because the medium and small blockers are both easy to kill at this point, but you want to make sure that you're draining their moats if at all possible. First invasion portal comes. Watch, and if your teammate is an invader, perfect. If you want to invade, if you have the skill set for invading, go through. If you don't have a skill set for invading, but you have nobody else on your team invading, still go through the portal and try to delay the other team as long as possible. If you can get them and prevent them from banking additional moats the entire time that you are on the other side and you just don't die, now that's a win for your team because now your team has collected more moats and are going to be banking and putting more blockers on their side. That is huge. You don't have to be the best invader in order to invade successfully. And yes, you want to kill their guy with 15 moats. Yes, you want to kill them as much as possible. But if you don't have the ammo, if you don't have the weapons on you that is going to be advantageous for invading, you can still invade and go through and just try to stall them as long as possible. Is that the most fun strategy? Not necessarily, although it can be fun trying to bait the team out, get them to waste their shots, get them to try to come hunting you while they're not able to invade, because now you've opened up an even bigger advantage in the game. So if nobody on your team is invading, definitely go through the portal, whether you have the stuff to do so or not. And that's going to lead to you guys kind of snowballing and building a bigger advantage, because now they've got to come out and all take care of the blockers once you're done invading. And who knows, you might have a second invasion portal by the time that happens for either you or a teammate to invade. And now they're all trying to clear the middle, and they're easy targets for you to pick off and take their moats. I think that's the key that most people miss within Gambit, is because the invasions can be such a huge game changer if you can do them successfully, or you can at least stall for as long as possible. That's my opinion on it. When you come back through, if you don't have an invasion, now you want to be on the lookout for your HBT. HBTs are the number one way to quickly get moats solo without jumping into all the big enemies that are possibly going to kill you. You should have on you a weapon that's going to quickly take down the HBTs, so always be on the lookout for them. They are probably the best way to get a 10 blocker without working too hard. From there, you're going to get towards the Primeval stage. You're going to want to make sure the bank is cleared if at all possible. If you have teammates who are camping the bank, go gather more moats, kill more enemies, all that kind of good stuff. You want to fill the role, like I said, of whatever role is unfilled. Even if you're not the best at it, it's still going to be better than everybody doing the same roles and leaving some roles unoccupied. So clearing the bank, even if there's only one blocker, clear that bank, make sure that's empty at all times. Then you're going to get to the Primeval Phase, take down the envoys first and quickly, and then just start doing DPS to the boss. Typically, unless you have a ton of ammo, don't waste your heavy right away. You're better off using your super and your heavy after 2 sets of envoys have been defeated. You're going to get a bigger buff, and you're going to be doing more damage at that point, unless you have something to absolutely bake the boss with and enough ammo to do so. Swords work out really well against most bosses, but some of them, either their stomp mechanics or the meatball, the big giant servitor, they are not going to be easy to take down with swords unless you're insanely lucky. So you're going to want to have something else to take on the primevals, because if you get the meatball, you're going to kind of be in a world of hurt. Watch for the invaders. Once the primeval round starts, because that's going to be the way that the other team, if you're ahead, is going to make up ground. That's also going to be how they're going to keep you back from gaining on them if you're behind. You always want to have one weapon slot that is good for at least helping take down the invaders, or helping while you invade, whether it's a sniper rifle, a scout rifle, a bow. All those things can come in handy from a distance. Now, you could also do something like a golden gun, which can help, or a different ability that's going to allow you to take down invaders, whatever you're most comfortable with, but have something where you can help take down the invader. Because if not, you're going to be focused on the primeval and you're going to die because nobody is focused on the invader. You want to find them as quickly as possible, set up in a good position, and take them out. If nobody on your team is invading, that is when you want to use up all of your ammo, that your DPS ammo, what you're going to use to take down the boss, and then invade and try to take them down if possible as well. That is when stalling doesn't matter as much. Yeah, it can help a little bit, but if you're going to invade at the end, at least try to take 1 or 2 with you. If you can take down more, perfect, but you got to take down at least one of the enemies in order to heal the primeval and go from there. So all of that is kind of my guide on where the steps are that you need to take to be successful in Gambit. Loadouts that I've been really enjoying. I've been running Stasis a lot because it's just dropped. Things like Monte Carlo with a shotgun and a sword or a grenade launcher there can be very, very good. You've got a scout rifle that you can run, again, with a shotgun and a sword. I also like to run a SMG or a sidearm with a sniper rifle. I just got Cloud Strike or Dord. Dort is really nice because you can put Vorpal weapon on it, and then with that, I'm gonna run maybe a sword, something like that as well. So there's a lot of different options. One thing that you see a lot of in Gambit is Xenophage. You also see a bit of Truth. Those are easy weapons to not only do DPS but also take down enemies, whether it's invading or being invaded. So those are weapons that I think are still very strong, and if you're able to find enough ammo, can help you out tremendously. Just depends on how comfortable you are with them. Anarchy is another weapon that you can do a lot of DPS as well as use it for ad clear, and anything that's really versatile, that's where you're going to want to stick. Using stasis has been easy because I can also pair. I got a sidearm, a high albedo with surplus and wellspring, so I get my abilities back. So I can freeze enemies all the time, slide into them, break them, rinse and repeat. And when you have something that can take care of up close damage, then you can actually pair that with more long range weapons, like again a bow sniper rifle, in order to have as much versatility on you as possible. That is the number one key, and where I really want to emphasize Gambit comes down to. If you're able to fill a lot of roles, then you're going to be successful more often than not. Unless you're an extreme, excellent specialist at invading or ad clear to a degree that most players aren't, that might be a little bit different, but for the vast majority of players, you want to be as versatile as possible. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Comment below what you think, what you are doing in Gambit these days. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you all later.